You see, when you don't have a why, you quit when it gets hard. You give up when it hurts. You walk away when it's uncomfortable. But when your why is strong enough, when it's powerful enough, you'll crawl through pain, you'll fight through doubt, and you'll rise through failure. Your why has to be bigger than your fear. Your why has to outlast your excuses. Your why has to fuel you when nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, and nobody believes. I was homeless. I ate out of trash cans, slept in an abandoned building. But I didn't quit because I found my why. My why was my mom, my future, my destiny. Your why will wake you up when your alarm won't. Your why will keep you grinding when motivation fades. So stop chasing motivation and start building meaning. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, why do you want it? Who are you doing this for? What are you willing to give to get it? Find your why, and you'll find your way. Pain means you're close to your purpose. That idea might sound strange at first. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid pain. They look for comfort, ease, and safety, but greatness doesn't live there. You don't grow in comfort zones. You grow in struggle. You grow when you're stretched, tested, and pushed beyond your limits. And when you start feeling pain, real, honest, soul-crushing pain, that's not the time to quit. That's the signal that you're getting close to your purpose. Think about it. A seed has to break to grow. A butterfly has to struggle to get out of the cocoon. Muscles have to tear before they rebuild stronger. Purpose isn't found in the easy places. It's found in the pressure. And most people miss it. It's because the moment things get difficult, they run. They give up. They say, maybe this isn't for me. But what if that pain you're feeling is not a sign to stop, but a sign that you're almost there? See, the problem with most people is that they interpret pain as punishment, but pain is actually a sign that something powerful is happening. Pain is the proof that you're putting in the work, that you're moving into new territory, that you're no longer coasting or playing small. When you're chasing your purpose, you're going to feel discomfort. You're going to face fear, insecurity, doubt. That's all part of the process. You have to understand, pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's your training ground. I remember being homeless. I remember sleeping in abandoned buildings. I remember crying because I didn't think I could make it. But do you know what that pain taught me? It taught me that I had more in me than I ever believed. Taught me that if I could survive that, I could survive anything. That pain became my preparation. It became my platform. I didn't get to where I am today in spite of the pain. I'm brought here because of it. Because instead of letting it break me, I let it build me. When you're doing something meaningful, something that matters, is gonna hurt. If you're building a business, it's gonna hurt. If you're getting your degree, it's gonna hurt. If you're trying to lose weight, fix your marriage, raise a child, change your life, it's going to hurt. But that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's worth it. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it didn't cost something, it wouldn't be valuable. Purpose costs. And that cost is paid in discomfort, in sleepless nights, in sacrifices, in hard conversation, in failure after failure. But with every ounce of pain, you get closer to who you're supposed to be, closer to the life you're meant to live. You have to reframe the way you see pain. Stop seeing it as a signal to retreat. Start seeing it as a milestone, as a checkpoint. It means something inside you is shifting, that you're becoming the person who's capable of fulfilling the purpose you've been called to. People ask me all the time, how did you become the #1 motivational speaker in the world? And I tell them, it wasn't talent, it wasn't luck, it was pain. It was waking up every day with no home, no food, and no support, but still choosing to fight, still choosing to believe, still choosing to speak even when no one was listening. That pain forced me to dig deep, forced me to find strength I didn't know I had. It forced me to rely on something greater than my circumstances. Some of you are going through things right now that feel unbearable. You're thinking about quitting. You're wondering if you have what it takes. You do, but you're not going to find out sitting in comfort. You're not going to discover your strength in the easy moments. It's in the moments you want to give up that your purpose is tested. And that pain you feel, it's not a wall, it's a doorway. It's the final test before the breakthrough. Don't give up now, not when you're this close. You might feel like you're breaking. That's okay. Diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is refined by fire. Your pain is producing something priceless. Don't waste it. Don't walk away from it. Let it shape you. Let it humble you. Let it sharpen your focus. When you get through it, not around it, but through it, you'll be stronger, wiser, more disciplined, and more prepared for your calling. Too many people stop at the edge of pain and settle. They settle for average. They settle for good enough. But purpose doesn't live in average. Purpose lives on the other side of pain. So if you're uncomfortable, if you're scared, if you're hurting, that means you're on the path. That means you're in the fight. That means you're getting closer to who you're meant to be. I want you to write this down. Memorize it. Tattoo it on your mindset. Pain is the price I paid for purpose. Every great man or woman you've ever admired paid that price. They didn't skip it. They didn't avoid it. They embraced it because they understood what you now understand. Pain means you're close. Don't let it stop you. Let it sharpen you. Let it remind you why you started. Your why has to be bigger than your pain. Your purpose has to be louder than your excuses. And your vision has to be stronger than your doubt. So when it hurts, don't cry to quit. Cry to keep going. Cry to release, not retreat. You are not your pain, but your pain will shape your power if you let it. Keep going. You're closer than you think. Your why must be bigger than your obstacles. That's not just a quote. It's a survival mindset. In life, you will face trial. You will encounter setbacks, heartbreak, betrayal, failure, and rejection. But the size of your obstacles doesn't matter nearly as much as the size of your why. If your why is big enough, you can overcome anything. But if your why is weak, if your purpose isn't clear and powerful, then even the smallest challenges will break you. People quit not because they're weak, but because their why isn't strong enough. They set out to do something, start a business, get in shape, graduate from school, turn their life around. But the moment they run into resistance, they fold. The reason they fold is not because the task is impossible. It's because they didn't anchor themselves in something meaningful enough to keep going when the pressure came. When you're connected to a strong why, your mindset shifts. You stop seeing problems as reasons to quit and start seeing them as reasons to fight harder. Your why is your anchor. It's the thing that holds you steady when everything around you is shaking. It's what keeps you grounded when the storms come. Storms will come. That's a guarantee. Life isn't fair and success isn't easy. If you want to do something worthwhile, you will face resistance. That's just how it works. But when you have a why that matters, when your reason for starting is connected to your identity, your future, your family, your legacy, then nothing can stop you. Let me tell you something real. I didn't survive being homeless because I was tough. I survived because I had a why. My why was my mother. My why was the life I promised her. My why was the pain I had seen her go through. And I told myself I would not let her down. I wasn't chasing money or fame. I was chasing purpose. And that purpose gave me power. That purpose gave me focus. And that purpose gave me energy when I had nothing left. You got to get clear on your why. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you'll give up the moment it gets hard. You'll start making excuses. I don't feel like it today. It's too hard. I don't see progress. That's what people say when they don't have a strong why. But when your why is strong, you'll get up even when you don't feel like it. You'll keep moving even when you're tired. You'll push forward even when it doesn't look like it's working because you believe in the outcome you're fighting for. Let me ask you this. What's your why? What's the thing you want so bad that you'll cry over it? Fight for it, bleed for it. Bleed for it. Is it your kids, your future, your last name, your faith, your freedom? Until you get clear on that, you'll always be one challenge away from quitting. But when you know your why, you become dangerous because then you're not just working, you're driven. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just dreaming, you're doing. When the world tells you you're not good enough, your why reminds you that you are. When the doors close in your face, your why tells you to kick them down. When the path gets dark, your why becomes the light. It becomes your fuel. I've seen people with no talent, no money, no connections make it because their why was real. I've seen people with every advantage in the world fail because their why was weak. It's not about what you have. It's about what drives you. Your obstacles don't care about your feelings. They don't move for emotion. They only move for commitment. Your why fuels that commitment. If your why is weak, you'll look for comfort. But if your why is strong, you'll look for solution. You'll keep showing up. Even when it hurts, even when people laugh at you, even when nobody believes in you. Because deep down, you know what you're chasing is worth every ounce of struggle. Let me tell you something powerful. A big enough why will give you endurance that defies logic. It'll help you stay in the fight when logic tells you to quit. When I was waking up at 3 a.m. to study, speak, hustle, and grind, people thought I was crazy. But my why didn't let me sleep. It whispered to me when I wanted to rest. It pushed me when I had nothing left. That's what a powerful why does. Keeps you locked in when everything else tries to pull you out. I'm not saying the journey will be easy, but I am saying it will be worth it. And the only way you'll make it to the other side is if your why is rooted in something deeper than applause or approval. You need a why that makes you cry, a why that touches your soul, a why that ignites your spirit. Because when your spirit is ignited, obstacles become stepping stones. They don't stop you. They shape you. Your why has to be personal. It can't be what other people want for you. It has to be something you claim for yourself, something that matters to you on a deep level. That's the kind of why that lasts. That's the kind of why that will wake you up when the alarm doesn't. That will get you back up after failure. That will drive you to study longer, train harder, speak louder, lead better. People think success is about tactics and tools. But the truth is, success starts with why. If you don't have that, all the strategies in the world won't save you. You'll fizzle out. But if your why is burning hot inside you, you'll figure out the rest. You'll learn the skills. You'll find the mentor. You'll outwork the competition. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Because the outcome is too important to let go. So I want you to stop focusing on the obstacles in your way. Stop magnifying the problem and start magnifying your purpose. Because what you focus on expands. If all you see are the reasons why it won't work, you'll never take action. But if you lock your eyes on your why, suddenly the mountain starts to shrink. The excuses start to fade. The fear starts to die. You weren't born to quit. You weren't born to play small. You were born to do something significant. But significance requires sacrifice. It requires focus. It requires you to rise above your feelings and fight for your future. Your why is what makes that possible. Your why is the weapon that will carry you through the battle. So sharpen it, feed it, protect it, and most of all, believe in it. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go off, when nobody's watching, when everything falls apart, your why will still be there. And if it's strong enough, that's all you'll need. Most people want success. Most people say they want to achieve their dreams, live their best life, make an impact. But the truth is, most people aren't willing to sacrifice. That's the gap between desire and reality. Sacrifice is the bridge. Everybody wants to win until they realize what it costs. Success isn't free. It demands time, focus, energy, discipline, and most of all, the willingness to give something up to get something greater. If you're not willing to sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. This is the hard truth. At some point in your journey, you will be faced with a choice. Do I keep holding on to comfort, convenience, and what's easy? Or do I let it go to chase something more meaningful? You can't have both. If you're chasing your dream, you can't sleep in every day. If you're chasing purpose, you can't keep wasting time on distraction. If you're serious about greatness, you can't keep hanging around people who don't want anything from life. Sacrifice isn't optional. It's the price of entry. Success is not for the lazy. It's not for the distracted. It's not for the distracted. It's not for the entitled. It's for the focused, the committed. The ones who say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to stay up late, wake up early, say no to things I used to say yes to. It's for the ones who understand that in order to level up, you gotta leave something behind. That might be your excuses. That might be your ego. That might be your past. But something has to go. The problem with most people is that they want the results without the sacrifice. They want the body without the gym. They want the money without the grind. They want the success without the suffering. But life doesn't work like that. You have to give something to get something. Every successful person you admire, they made sacrifices you didn't see. They passed on parties. They studied while others slept. They invested while others spent. They trained while others quit. That's why they're winning. It's not luck, it's labor. There's always a trade-off. Always. Time is limited. Energy is limited. Focus is limited. So if you're giving hours to Netflix, scrolling on your phone, chasing temporary pleasures, then don't be surprised when your goals collect dust. Don't be surprised when you look back a year from now and realize you're in the exact same place. Success doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to your investment. Ask yourself right now, what are you willing to give up to get what you want? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for consistency? Are you willing to trade popularity for purpose? Are you willing to cut off distractions, even if they come in the form of friends, habits, or mindsets? Because until you are, you'll always live in a realm of almost. You'll almost succeed, you'll almost break through, you'll almost change, but almost to never get you to greatness. Sacrifice isn't something you do once. It's a lifestyle. It's a decision you have to make every single day. When the alarm goes off and your body says it's sleep, but your dream says to get up, that's sacrifice. When your friends are out and you're in the library, that's sacrifice. When you turn down a night of fun for a night of focus, that's sacrifice. And here's the truth. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret is permanent. You can suffer now and succeed later, or avoid the struggle and stay stuck forever. Let me tell you from experience. When I was homeless, when I had nothing, I still made the choice to sacrifice. I sacrificed my pride to go back to school. I sacrificed my comfort to sleep on floor while I chased my education. I sacrificed my time to read, learn, grow, and transform. And people didn't get it. They laughed, they judged. But now those same people are asking me how I did it. The answer is simple. I was willing to give up what they weren't. I chose purpose over pleasure. You can't climb while holding on to what's weighing you down. If you're serious about changing your life, you have to release what no longer serves your future. That might mean ending relationships that are toxic. That might mean giving up habits that make you feel good, but don't move you forward. That might mean saying no to what's a normal so you can live what's next level. Your future isn't built by luck. It's built by letting go. We live in a world where people glorify the hustle, but very few talk about the sacrifice behind. It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart and sacrificing the wrong things so you can focus on the right ones. You don't need more time. You need more time. You need more clarity on what matters. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. Discipline is born through sacrifice, through choosing what's best over what's easy. Most people miss this because they confuse movement with progress. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're building. Just because you're doing a lot doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. Sometimes a bigger sacrifice is slowing down, cutting off distractions, and focusing on the small steps that actually move the needle. Sacrifice isn't glamorous, but it's effective. Your sacrifice today determines your success tomorrow. If you sacrifice complaining, you'll gain energy. If you sacrifice excuses, you'll gain results. If you sacrifice procrastination, you'll gain momentum. Every time you give something up, you gain something better. That's the law of sacrifice. You don't lose. You exchange short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. You exchange comfort for character. You exchange habits for hustle. And here's the part no one tells you. Sacrifice will cost you something, but not sacrificing will cost you everything. It will cost you peace. It will cost you purpose. It will cost you pride. It will cost you pride in your pride. The life you want isn't on sale. It's at full price. You have to be willing to pay that price every day. Every decision, every action, every moment. You're either getting closer or further away from the version of you that you know you can be. That version of you, the one that's confident, fulfilled, focused, winning. They're on the other side of sacrifice. You don't become them by accident. You become them by intention. You become them by asking yourself every day, what am I willing to give up so I can grow up? Because the truth is, success isn't just about achieving. It's about evolving. You don't just reach goals, you become the person capable of reaching them. And that becoming requires sacrifice. No one's coming to hand you your dream. No one's going to knock on your door and give you success. You gotta want it bad enough to make hard choices. You gotta want it bad enough to say no to good so you can say yes to great. You gotta want it bad enough to live different now so you can live better later. The good news is, sacrifice compound. What you give up today pays you back tomorrow. The discipline you build now becomes a freedom you experience later. The time you invest now becomes a legacy you leave behind. Sacrifice today, shine tomorrow. So ask yourself again, What are you willing to let go of so you can ride? What are you willing to give up so you can go up? Because until you answer that, you'll keep spinning your wheels. But once you do, once you commit to sacrifice, you'll begin to move like someone who's already seen the future. You'll walk with urgency. You'll live with clarity. You'll grind with meaning. And that's when everything begins to change. You don't need approval from everyone to chase your dream. In fact, the truth is, not everyone will understand your why. Not everyone will see your vision. Not everyone will support your journey, and that's okay, because greatness was never built on the opinions of others. You have to stop letting people who haven't walked your path tell you where you're supposed to go. This is your life, your mission, your purpose. And if you're serious about finding your why, then you must be willing to keep walking even when others don't walk with you. Too many people are stuck because they're waiting for validation. They're waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to start. They're waiting for someone to clap for them before they've even taken the first step. But let me be real with you. If you keep waiting on permission, you'll never move. Because the people you're waiting on, they might never understand your dream. They might be too afraid of chasing their own dreams, so they try to hold you back from yours. That's not hate. That's fear disguised as advice. You've got to understand that your why was given to you, not to them. That means they might not see it. They might not feel it. They might not believe in it. But you do. That's enough. You don't need their permission to believe in yourself. You don't need their applause to get to work. The biggest breakthroughs in life often happen in silence, in the moments when you choose to believe in yourself even when no one else does. That's where champions are born. It's hard though, right? It hurts when people you love don't support you, when your own family doesn't get it, when your friends stop pulling away because you're changing, growing, becoming more focused. But here's what you need to remember. Your purpose will offend people who are committed to average. Your discipline will make them uncomfortable. Your success will expose their excuses. That's not your problem. That's theirs. You weren't called to fit in. You were called to stand out. And standing out means walking a path that others might not understand. It means doing things differently. It means risking criticism, rejection, and misunderstanding. But if you let their opinions become your prison, you'll never be free to live your truth. You'll keep shrinking to make others comfortable. You'll keep silencing your voice so others don't feel challenged. And slowly, without even realizing it, you'll bury your dream under their doubts. One of the hardest things to do in life is to trust your own voice in a world that keeps trying to drown it out. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone wants to tell you how to live. But the question is, do they know your heart? Do they know your fire? Do they know the nights you cry, the battles you fought, the pain you've endured just to make it this far? No, they don't. So why let their words carry more weight than your truth? You have to stop giving people power over a life they're not living. They don't wake up with your dream. They don't carry your responsibilities. They don't feel your hunger. So stop letting their comfort zone limit your potential. If you're going to go after your why, you're going to have to learn how to move even when it's lonely. You're going to have to develop the kind of faith that says, even if nobody else sees it, I do. Even if nobody else believes, I will. And guess what? That kind of faith changes everything. When you stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose, you become dangerous. Because now you're not driven by applause, you're driven by assignment. Now you're not paralyzed by opinions, you're powered by vision. That's when the shift happens. That's when people start noticing, oh, they're serious. That's when the same people who doubted you start asking how you did it to them. But don't do it for them. Don't chase success to prove people wrong. Don't build your life on revenge. Build it on purpose. Build it on passion. Build it on the unshakable truth that you were made for something more. Because when you do that, even the critics can't stop you. Even the silence won't scare you. Because you'll know deep in your soul that you're walking in alignment with your calling. You weren't created to live a life of approval addiction. That's not living. That's surviving. And your purpose is too powerful to be confined by the need to be liked. Understand this. Not everyone will clap when you win. Not everyone will be happy for your growth. Some people will fall away the moment you stop playing small, and that's okay. Let them go. Their chapter in your story is over. Let me say this too. Not everyone who doubts you is a hater. Some people just can't see it yet. Some people are operating from their own fear, their own wounds, their own limitations. Don't waste time trying to convince them. Show them. Let your discipline speak. Let your results speak. Let your growth speak. Because real power doesn't scream, it shows up. Your job isn't to get the world to understand your why. Your job is to walk in it, to wake up every day and remind yourself that you don't need a cheering crowd to do what you're called to do. Sometimes your why will only make sense to you, and that's enough. Sometimes you'll be the only one clapping, the only one grinding, the only one believing, and that's enough. Because when you stay faithful to the vision, the results eventually speak louder than the doubt ever did. You have to protect your why like it's sacred, because it is. Don't let casual opinions dilute a divine mission. Don't let temporary emotions make permanent decisions. Your why is the compass. It will guide you through confusion, doubt, fear, and failure. And when you keep your eyes on it, you'll realize you never needed a crowd to begin with. You just needed clarity. You needed commitment. You needed courage. In the end, you'll be thankful for the people who didn't believe in you, because they forced you to believe in yourself. You'll be thankful for the silence because it taught you how to be still and listen to your own voice. You'll be thankful for the rejection because it led you to redirection. Everything you go through on this journey, it's refining you, it's shaping you, it's preparing you for the version of success you can actually sustain. So stop waiting for everyone to get it. They might not. Nah. Stop shrinking to be understood. Some people will never see your light because they're too committed to the dark. That's not your problem. Your job is to shine anyway, to walk anyway, to build anyway. When you show up in purpose unapologetically, you won't just find your why. You'll become someone else's reason to keep going. You won't always feel motivated. There will be mornings where you wake up exhausted, mentally drained, emotionally discouraged. There will be nights where the weight of your responsibilities feels unbearable and the thought of continuing seems impossible. That's normal. That's human. But if you are relying solely on motivation to carry you through this journey, you won't make it, because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. And if your actions depend on how you feel, you will never reach your full potential. What you need, what will carry you through the storms, the setbacks, the silence, is your why. Your why is bigger than motivation. It's deeper. It's rooted in something unshakable. It's what pushes you forward with everything that you wants to stop. It's what wakes you up when the alarm doesn't. It's what gets you to keep going even after failure, after rejection, after disappointment. Motivation may get you started, but your why, your purpose, is what keeps you moving. That's the difference between a sprint and a marathon. A sprinter relies on bursts of energy. A marathoner runs with endurance, with vision, with discipline, with a reason. See, the problem is that we've been conditioned to believe that we always need to feel like it in order to do it. That if we don't feel inspired or excited, then something's wrong. But that mindset is dangerous. Because the truth is, most days you won't feel like it. You won't feel excited to go to the gym. You won't feel enthusiastic about studying. You won't feel passionate about doing the hard, consistent work that growth demands. But that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you give up. That doesn't mean you wait around for motivation to magically show up. Champions don't wait on motivation. They act on commitment. They show up regardless. They do it tired. They do it frustrated. They do it with tears in their eyes, because they understand that purpose doesn't make the work easier. It just makes the work worth it. Your why gives meaning to your struggle. It gives context to your pain. It helps you see that what you're building isn't just about today. It's about who you're becoming in the process. Every great person you admire, every leader, every entrepreneur, every game changer, they didn't build their legacy on fleeting motivation. They built it on discipline, on consistency, on showing up when no one was watching. They trained when no one clapped. They studied when others were partying. They pushed through the pain because they knew their why. And that's the key. They weren't chasing feelings. They were following a vision. Think about it. If you only do the work when you feel motivated, then your results will always be inconsistent. You'll keep starting and stopping, building and breaking, progressing and regressing. That's not growth. That's stagnation. But when your actions are anchored in purpose, in discipline, in your why, then you become unstoppable. Because now you're not reacting to your feelings. You're leading yourself through them. That's what self-leadership is. Doing what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's boring, even when it's boring, even when it's painful. You can't build greatness around comfort. You can't create a legacy if you keep waiting for the perfect condition. You have to dig deep. You have to be your own motivator. You have to become someone who doesn't just move when it's convenient, but someone who moves because they're committed. And let's be honest, the enemy knows this. That's why distraction is so powerful. That's why comfort is so tempting. Because if the enemy can't destroy your purpose, he'll distract you from it. He'll make you feel like you're too tired, like you're too behind, like it's too hard. But don't listen to that voice. That's not the voice of purpose. That's the voice of fear, the voice of limitation. And you have to drown it out with action. Action produces clarity. Action builds momentum. Action is how you remind yourself who you are and why you started. So the next time you don't feel like it, remember your why. Remember who you're doing it for. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your future. Maybe it's to break generational curses, to rewrite your story, to be the first in your bloodline, to do something extraordinary. Whatever it is, hold on to it. Let it drive you. Let it fuel you. Because when your why is strong enough, you'll find a way. You'll get up early. You'll stay up late. You'll keep showing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to feel like a superhero every day, but you don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. You need to be intentional. You need to be faithful with the little and trust that the big will come in time. Every rep, every step, every hour, it's all part of the process. And if you stay committed to the process, the results will come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually they will. That's how growth works. Quiet, steady, unshakable. You see, motivation is like a spark. It flares up quickly and burns out just fast. But purpose is a fire. It burns from within. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be seen. It just needs to be fed with action, with belief, with vision. Feed your fire. Feed it every day. Not with hyper noise, but with decision, with discipline, with direction. If you want to do something great with your life, you have to let go of the myth that will always feel good. Growth doesn't feel good. Progress doesn't always feel inspiring. Sometimes it feels like sacrifice. Sometimes it feels like frustration. But those feelings are not the enemy. They're signs that you're doing something that matters. Don't run from them. Embrace them. Let them strengthen you. Let them remind you that you're not here to live a mediocre life. You're here for purpose. You're here to make impact. You're here to leave something behind. And that kind of life isn't built on comfort. It's built on commitment, on doing the hard thing, on showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel. That's what separates those who dream from those who do. That's what builds real confidence, not fake positivity, but real, earned confidence that comes from doing the work when it's hard. So when the alarm goes off and you're tired, move anyway. When the task feels overwhelming, take the first step. When your mind is full of doubt, remind yourself why you started. You don't need to be motivated. You need to be faithful. You need to be focused. You need to keep your eyes on the finish line and your feet moving forward, one step at a time. Your dream is worth it. Your purpose is worth it. And every sacrifice, every late night, every lonely moment, it's all going to be worth it. Not just for the success, but for who you become in the process. Stronger, wiser, sharper, resilient. That's what this journey is about. And the more you lean into that, the less you'll depend on motivation. Because you'll realize that your why is powerful enough to carry you through anything. And when you reach that level of commitment, nothing can stop you. When you look back on your life years from now, what will you remember the most? Will it be the easy moments, the days when everything went your way, when you were comfortable, when the path was smooth? Or will it be the times when everything inside you wanted to quit, but you chose to keep going anyway? Because that's what defines you. That's what leaves a mark, not just on the world, but on your soul. It's not your wins that build you. It's the war you fight within yourself to show up even when you don't feel like it. That's the true test of character. That's the real measure of strength. You see, life isn't about avoiding struggle. It's about growing through it. It's about finding meaning in the mess, purpose in the pain, vision in the valleys. Every challenge you face is a chance to prove to yourself that your why is stronger than your weakness. Every setback is an opportunity to come back better, wiser, more committed. But you don't get there by wishing, by hoping, or by waiting for motivation to return. You get there by doing a hard thing over and over again. You get there by remembering why you started in the first place and letting that drive be louder than your excuses. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They don't fall short because they aren't capable. They fall because they let their emotions lead them instead of their vision. They stop showing up when it gets hard. They let fear speak louder than faith. But the ones who succeed, the ones who break through, the ones who rise, they learn to silence the noise. They learn to show up tired, discouraged, uncertain. They don't need everything to be perfect. They just need their why to be clear. And when it is, they move, they act, they press forward. You weren't created for comfort. You weren't built for ease. You were made for impact, and impact requires enduring. You can't shift the atmosphere if you're stuck waiting for inspiration. You can't change lives if you can't even commit to changing your own habits. So ask yourself, are you living by feelings or by purpose? Are you building your days around what's easy or what's essential? Because what you do consistently is who you become permanently. And your habits will either push you toward your greatness or pull you back into mediocrity. Think about that. Your decisions, your routines, your mindset, these things aren't just random pieces of your life. They're the blueprint. They're shaping your legacy one choice at a time. And when you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, faith over fear, you begin to create momentum. That momentum turns into progress, turns into power, and that power changes everything. Not just for you, but for everyone watching you, learning from you, depending on you. Because believe it or not, someone is watching. Someone is waiting on you to step up, to be consistent, to stay the course. Maybe it's your child. Maybe it's your younger sibling. Maybe it's a stranger who looks up to you without even saying it. Your example matters. Your grit, your resilience, your refusal to quit, it matters. And sometimes the greatest motivation isn't what you say, it's how you live. Your life becomes a walking, breathing speech, a testimony to the power of perseverance, a witness to what happens when you refuse to let your feelings lead your future. But let's be clear, none of this is easy. It's not supposed to be. You'll cry some nights. You'll question yourself some mornings. You'll wonder if it's worth it. And in those moments, the temptation to give up will feel almost unbearable. But that's where the separation happens. That's where champions are born, not in moments of comfort, but in moments of crisis. That's where you decide if you're going to let this season define you, or if you're going to use it to refine you. It's in those moments that you must go back to your why. Revisit it. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself who you are and what you're fighting for. Your why is your anchor. When the winds of doubt and distraction come, your why holds you steady. When your feelings say stop, your purpose says go. As long as you stay connected to that, you cannot be broken. There's a power that rises up in you when you move from being emotionally driven to being purpose-driven. You become less reactive, more intentional, less concerned with how hard it is, more focused on why it matters. And when you live like that, every day becomes an opportunity, not just to survive, but to thrive. Not just to show up physically, but to show up fully, present, prepared, passionate. This journey you're on, it's not just about reaching a goal. It's about becoming someone who refuses to give up, someone who stands tall when others sit down, someone who understands that greatness doesn't require perfect conditions. It just requires consistent commitment. And when that becomes your standard, when you stop negotiating with excuses, when you refuse to bow to your feelings, you will begin to see breakthrough after breakthrough. You'll discover that the energy you thought you didn't have is still there, waiting behind your excuses. That strength you thought was gone was just hidden under fear. That clarity you've been praying for will appear, not before the action, but after it. Because clarity comes through commitment. And every time you choose discipline over delay, purpose over procrastination, you sharpen your focus. You silence your inner critic. You ignite a new level of confidence. And that confidence is contagious. It inspires others to rise. It shifts atmospheres. It challenges mediocrity. But you can't lead others until you learn to lead yourself. You can't inspire if you don't act. You can't influence if you don't endure. And the only way you endure is if you know why you're in the fight to begin with. So never stop asking yourself that question. Never stop feeding your why. Protect it, nurture it, revisit it often. The world will try to distract you from it. Life will try to drain it from you. But if you stay connected to it, nothing can stop you. Understand this. You don't need to have it all together to begin. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be faithful. You just need to show up. One step at a time, one day at a time. You don't have to climb the whole mountain today. Just take the next step, and then another, and then another. Keep moving forward. Keep showing up. Keep doing what you said you would do long after the mood in which you said it has left. Because in the end, that's what separates those who dream from those who build. The dreamers wait on motivation. The builders work through it. The dreamers talk. The builders act. Be a builder. Build a life that reflects your purpose. Build habits that honor your potential. Build a mindset that's stronger than your moods. Build a future that's anchored in your why. And when the day comes that you look back, when you see the life you've built, the impact you've made, the people you've inspired, you'll know it wasn't because of fleeting motivation. It was because of relentless dedication. It was because you remembered your why and you let it lead you, carry you, and transform you.